What's going on, guys? Today, you're with the Scent Bubble, and this episode is a hot take. Hot takes are where we do nice, short, brief, but still somewhat technical so you can make decisions of a review, typically of designer fragrances, but today we're going to be talking about inspirations. The fragrance in question today is Supreme L'Homme Extreme from Fragrance World. Now, this is 100 ml of juice that you can get currently on Amazon for 20 bucks. So the fact that you can get it on Amazon for 20 pretty much speaks to the fact that that's probably going to be the lowest price point that you can find. I know on discounters you might get it a few bucks less, but $20 is the sweet spot. Definitely don't pay more than 25. Now, that's a great price for an inspiration. I'm not going to use the C word or the D word, just due to the algorithm and different things like that, and I want this video to last, but we're going to call it an inspiration for now. But it is an inspiration of Guerlain's L'Homme Ideal Extreme. When it comes to Guerlain fragrances, some people mention the vetiver fragrance as well as a couple of other classics from that house. The house has been around forever, but L'Homme Ideal Extreme is the one everybody's talking about. And the question is today, is Supreme L'Homme Extreme up to snuff? Because if it is, you're going to save yourself probably more than 75% of the cost of the actual fragrance. So that's what we're going to evaluate here. And the fact that you can get this fragrance on Amazon makes it all the while better. I know when I shop on Fragrance by CA and things like that, you're getting fragrances from Canada, you're getting stuff outside the country, or sometimes if you're getting it inside the country because you're getting it from a discounter, sometimes you can deal with shipping issues and stuff like that. So for the fact that you can get it on Amazon and get the expedited shipping and stuff like that, you can get this fragrance in like 2 to 5 days, depending on which level of expedited shipping you have on Amazon. But even standard, you're getting it in less than 5 days in most cases. So that's absolutely phenomenal. And normally, inspiration fragrances, the sweet spot price that they all mostly sit at is around 30 bucks. And then they go north or south depending on how new or old or which house it's coming from. So $20 is an absolute steal if this fragrance is good. Now, what does it smell like? In a nutshell, this is cherry, almond, and champagne. So it's got the expensive quality there. The cherry isn't the most photoreal cherry, but you know what? As far as photorealism in the scent profile, it does have a quality scent of cherries that have been soaked at the bottom of a champagne glass full of white champagne. White champagne, cherry, little hint of almond, expensive champagne feel. Very nice fragrance. It's not too synthetic at all, if any. And on skin, it warms up and feels a lot more natural as well. So on the test strip, it might feel a bit synthetic, but on skin, you kind of get this ambery warm up of the fragrance. I'm going to let it dry down right now just to confirm that. I do have a lot of experience with this fragrance, so I'm kind of spitting off the top of the dome here for you. But this is an absolutely great value, and in my opinion, it's an utter steal because it's at least like 90% close. I would say the only 10% variation between this and L'Homme Ideal Extreme, and again, this is Supreme L'Homme Extreme, and they're pretty much biting everything, unfortunately, but the juice is what matters here, and if you have access to it, no one should be hating on you for the fact of trying to find it for cheaper. But this is an excellent fragrance, guys. It's got good projection of at least 3 to 4 feet. Not as much sillage to speak of, really. I think this fragrance would go more of the distance for you in colder climate or at bare minimum indoors. This is great nightlife. Even could be a sexy little date night scent. I mean, cherry, almond, champagne. It's got a luxury feel to it. I think this sits between upscale casual and semi-formal. So it doesn't just have to be a date night or a theater or a nightlife type of fragrance. You could certainly dress it up as an upscale casual scent, a signature scent as well, because cherry, almond, champagne is a DNA profile that you're not going to get from a lot of fragrances. I can name on my hand 5 or less cherry fragrances that I really advocate for, and in the inspiration space, this has certainly done it. If you're into something like dark cherry and amber from Banana Republic, this is absolutely an upgrade. It leans closer to some of the Tom Ford cherry fragrances, but again, that champagne element is what makes it unique, and it's very close. 90%. The 10% offshoot is just in a little bit of lack of quality in terms of the depth of the fragrance, but in terms of getting the fullness of the cherry almond champagne experience, that is all there. So I highly recommend this. It's an absolute steal. Moderate projection. As far as the longevity, I think a fragrance like this, in my experience, I've typically gotten at least 4 to 6 hours. Sprays, you're probably wanting to do 6 to 10. I think if you want to try and go for the 8-hour distance, you're going to need at least 10 sprays. If you're just trying to get, that 6-hour marker, depending on what occasion and situation that you're wearing this is definitely going to be a fragrance that you'll probably want to spruce up later in the day. If you're more outdoors or you're passing through and you're wafting and you're getting a lot of aeration going on, then yeah, the fragrance might dissipate after around the 4 to 5 hour mark, respectively. However, as far as closeness to DNA, 9 out of 10, great projection, not that synthetic at all, very close, and the price is absolutely unbeatable. Are there some other alternatives to this? Probably, but I think the convenience of purchase for this just makes it an absolute staple signature for your collection. Again, you're not going to find a lot of fragrances that give you the almond champagne aspect of the cherry. Most cherry fragrances you come along either have like an incensey, darker vibe to them, an ambery vibe to them, or just some type of like solo cherry feel. Cherry almond champagne is unique, and low medial extreme is a great fragrance. So the fact that you can get it balling on a budget is absolutely spectacular. As a fragrance overall, I give it about an 8. Certainly well above average. I don't do decimals here. We don't do 8.5s and all that jazz. The only thing keeping it from about a 9 or a 10 to me is it gets a point docked off because it doesn't have the most insane amount of depth and complexity as low medial extreme, and a little bit of synthetics to it, but mostly performance. So performance and a little bit of lack of depth, I say it's above average. But as an 8, I think 8 or better in the inspiration space is like must have, especially at this price point. So put your nose on this. This is Fragrance World's Supreme L'Homme Extreme, $20, 100 ml, absolute steal. And this is your hot take from the scent bubble. Be blessed. Peace.